Alrighty, everybody, here we are for week 4 of the Wizardly Readathon. So as you can see, I am like cozied up over here. You might hear that it's storming. So like, great reading weather, right? Sure. So as you guys know, I decided to pick up Vampires of El Norte because I needed a win, right? Because I needed a win. Unfortunately, let's talk about marketing and marketing a book and lying straight to your readership. This touts battles between vampires and vaqueros. So what was I expecting? Mexican cowboys taking out vampires. That's what I was expecting. That's not what we got. Not what we got. Not at all. There's a final battle at the end of this between them. Kind of, somewhat, not really. No. This is one of the most poorly marketed books I have ever seen. This is not a gothic horror. This is a gothic romance. The vampires are there. They exist. Our main character is attacked by one. That's the extent of their purpose in this novel. Like, other things happen with the vampires, but like, I don't know. I was expecting a whole lot more from this, and it did not deliver. However, on my Goodreads, I did round this up to a 4-star. The reason being is I think I would have liked this had I realized what it was. And so now I'm going to tell you. We have a main character who grows up on a ranch. Her dad runs the ranch, and he has a whole bunch of like farm hands that work for him and everything like that. And I'm using English words to describe a lot of the things that are like Hispanic words are used for, Spanish words are used for in this, but it's the Texas-Mexico border. We are in the midst of land squabbles between the Hispanic people and the white people, and there are certain things that are going on within the household that come to the forefront, such as them trying to marry off their daughter to a wealthy family so their ranch stays strong. And then we have Romeo and Juliet type love story here, where the two characters just can't be together and they want to be together, and they had some horrific thing happen and one of them left. Now they're back. Can they rekindle this friendship and romance? And I went into this expecting gothic horror. I expected hacienda vibes, didn't get it. I expected so much more. This is a romance novel. This is 100% a romance novel. And there is miscommunication and pining throughout the entire book. Now, Isabel Cana's writing is still absolutely amazing. I do think it's atmospheric. I do think that it lost a little bit of its lyrical quality that the Hacienda had. But I don't know. I think that if you go into this with your expectations set correctly, this could be a very enjoyable book. However, I'm leaving off very disappointed because that is not what I wanted. I definitely wanted a horror story going into the fall spooky season. It's not what I got. It's not what I got. So I don't know what I'm going to pick up next, because a lot of the books that I have been picking up were like, I expected them to be pretty highly rated. And I'm sitting here looking at ones that I'm like, yeah, that's definitely going to be a 5-star. And then I'm like, do I know what a 5-star is? This whole reading month has been very strange because I picked up books that I thought I was going to love and then didn't. And I mean, we had everything from DNFing the Water Outlaws to low ratings on Cold from the North. So I don't know what's happening. I almost just want to ditch the TBR and read some fantasy romance just to get out of the funk that I'm currently in. I won't do that though, because I'm so very close to my goal of 8 books. I believe this is book 7, so long as I'm still counting Blood of the Spear. However, stepping away from it, I think I might just put it off for another day. The buddy read's over. No one's really talking about it anymore. And that was the whole purpose of me picking it up right now. And I think it might better suit whenever I'm in the mood for something like that. And right now I am not, because of the way everything has been going. So we shall see. We shall see. I do have Gods of the Weirdwood. RJ Barker has failed to let me down thus far. So I'm always very intrigued by his books and love his writing style. And I really love his stories. So that might be the next one that I pick up. And I also have Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe. That is, I'm kind of feeling Firefly might be the way to go, just because I'm not digging fantasy, epic fantasy, so switch it over to sci-fi. Could work, could work. Tonight, I am going to immerse myself in Dragon Age. I would love to be immersing myself in Baldur's Gate. I, however, do not yet have a PS5, so cannot play Baldur's Gate, even though I'm seeing everybody's updates and really wanting to participate in all of the fun. I need to invest in a PS5, so there's that as well. So we are going to go romance Cullen for the 50 millionth time, and I'm going to go marry him and all that good stuff, because that's what you can do in Dragon Age. This is where I should have one of my many Cullen t-shirts on, and I do not. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired, but I think I'm tired because the way my rating's going and because the way my schedule has changed. Like, there's so many different aspects as to why my brain is trying to shut down now. But it's Saturday night. I usually don't read on Saturdays anyway. Kiddo just happens to not be home, and so we've kind of just had a lazy day at home. And yeah, so I will let you guys know when I decide what I'm going to be reading next. Hey guys, it is Monday. Today I'm in a really bad mood, but I'm gonna try and record this anyway. So over the weekend I did some reading. I was not planning to read because on the weekends I'm usually a gamer, but it happened. I just didn't have time to record during the weekend, other than the first clip that you saw, which was like Saturday morning or something like that, Friday night maybe. Well, I read Spellbreaker by Charlie N. Holmberg. Charlie is female. I did not know that. But this was so cute. So this is a historical fiction fantasy romance. And the story is like super captivating. The main character is great to follow. And then the love interest, I adore him. I think that he's awesome. And I couldn't put this book down. I read this book within 24 hours. So I'm so glad I picked it up. I have already ordered the second book because it's a duology. And I'm just, I loved it. I loved it. I love the atmosphere, the Victorian setting, the way that people talk to each other in those times I really like. The propriety in a historical fiction romance is really cute to watch. And there's a couple of scenes where I was like, this is hilarious because it's so Victorian. But I really, really enjoyed this one. And then I let my Discord pick what I was going to be reading next, and I started A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe. I am almost 100 pages in. I don't like it. So I've tried Alex White before, and I thought that maybe it was the characters I didn't enjoy. And maybe I just don't like the characters that Alex White writes because, again, we have a little bit of a bratty main character, and I don't really connect with people who act that way. Like, I really just don't care for them. And, like, the whole narcissistic mentality, I don't get on with. I know too many people like that in real life, or have known too many people like that in real life, that I'm just like, girl, sit down. Like, no one wants to talk to you. But yeah, I kind of had that feeling with this, and I think I'm going to DNF it. Now, here's the thing. This no longer counts for my Wizardly Readathon because Spellbreaker was the 8th book that I submitted. So it's not going to count against me or for me for my points to have read this. And I've already pushed through 2 that I found to be okay and probably would have DNF'd anyway. So I'm just going to let this one go. Like, I just feel like Alex White does not write characters that I connect with. And the writing in this, or the way that this is told, I think if you're a fan of Becky Chambers, you will probably like this series. I am not a fan of Becky Chambers. I don't like the slow-paced writing style. Now, this one is a bit more fast-paced than Wayfarers, and has a little bit more action than Wayfarers, but it's very character focused. And one of the main things that I hear a lot of people say about Wayfarers is if you were to play Mass Effect and only play the side quests. And that's what this feels like too. I did want to get into this because I was so excited about the comparisons to Firefly. I just didn't connect with it, not at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one down. Now, I have not selected the book that I'm going to read next. And I think at this point, I kind of just need to pick up whatever tickles my fancy and not necessarily stick to a TBR, because this TBR hasn't really worked out for me. It's great to get books off my shelves, not gonna lie, but I don't know. Do I think that this readathon has gone well? Yeah, I do. I've read some pretty good books this readathon. They're just not what I was hoping for. And I do know, I'm very aware that I still have John Gwynne, Stephen Arion, RJ Barker, all of them on my TBR. And those will likely be 5 stars for me. But I don't think I have the brain power for it right now. So I will check back in with you guys probably when I finish something else or whenever I'm in the middle of something else, because I have no idea what I'm going to pick next. I just wanted to let you guys know that I am officially DNFing this one and that I loved Spellbreaker. Hey guys, it is Tuesday morning. I am a little tired right now, but I wanted to pop in because I chose to read Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levenseller. And guys, this book is so good. It is so good. So I didn't really know what I was going to choose next, and I was debating my whole stack over here, and my brain just kind of went, no. We need something fun, and none of these books are going to be fun. They're going to be dark and hard-hitting, and that's just not what my brain wanted. And after DNFing Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe, I really just needed something that was going to be lighthearted, kind of, because this gets dark in a few places, but like I needed something that was short that would just kind of get me out of this funk, because my reading this month, I don't know if you guys have put all of the pieces together to figure out, I'm averaging a 3-star. This has been a 3-star month for me. So I was kind of feeling a little slumpy, a little burnt out. And like I said, I just needed something to pull me out of it. This is a book that's kind of based in Norse mythology, but very much derivative of Norse mythology. Like it's not firmly based in all of that. But we have a girl who is training to be a warrior. She's about to become the head of her clan. She's getting prepared to take over. And she is top of her class as a warrior. She is a little bit different. Her sisters are all very feminine and she is not. And at a very young age, she decides that she wants to be a warrior. So she's been training her whole life for this position. However, the clan, the men that are in the clan, the boys that are in the clan really don't like her because they feel like she is taking a position that should be theirs. And her father is only proud of her because she's following in his footsteps. And then it comes to a tournament where they are all having to fight, and she is with a boy that she really likes. And during the tournament, they're trying to battle out, like between the two of them, who can kill the most of these creatures that they're going up against. And at the very end of the tournament, he takes one of the heads of the creatures and makes it bite her, which poisons her. And this is the big no-no of the tournament. If you are bitten, you are exiled. You have failed your test, which she wasn't bitten, and only one person saw it, which was her mother, who doesn't want to have anything to do with her and wishes she would just leave because her father pays more attention to the daughter than to her. And so her mother could have saved her and chooses not to. Chooses not to. So she's exiled. And this book is about the exile and what happens when she's in exile and the task that she is given in order to return. And that task is to kill a god. Well, when she's exiled, she comes across other exiles, and that's kind of where the story takes off. So the first part that I told you is not really spoilery. It's in the synopsis of the book, so it happens very early on. But Trisha Levenseller's writing is so good that even though this book is short, everything is very well explained, and you get attached to the characters really easily. And the trials, I guess you could say, there's some forms of trials in this, because the trial that starts at the beginning and then the task that the exiles have to accomplish in order to come home. She comes across two boys in the wilderness, and they set out to pretty much accomplish the task that they've been given in order to return. And I just, everything about this I enjoyed so much. This is a standalone young adult fantasy. I say young adult, I almost want to put this at new adult, but I do think the writing is more young adult, and the themes and the level of storytelling would what push it to be new adult in my mind. So go into that knowing that the writing is not exactly like elegant, but it is still a very well written novel. And I'm so glad that I've read this. I've had this on my TBR for quite some time. I do believe there were a couple of booktubers who put this on my radar. I don't exactly remember who, but I thought this was quite good. Now, I'm back to not knowing exactly what I want to read, but I do need to do my first roll for Spookopoly because I've also joined the Bookish Drummers Discord in their Stephen King Readathon, even though I have no intention of reading any Stephen King books. He posted it in the Wizardly Enclave Discord and was trying to get more people to join. And I was like, I'm already in the middle of a readathon. He's like, why not do both? So, Jake, I am joining the readathon, but I also need to roll my first Spookopoly book so that we can kind of get an idea of what everybody's first book is going to be, because in the Stephen King readathon, we are after clues to solve a murder mystery, I believe. And that is going to be contingent upon us actually submitting unique prompts off the bat. So I need to do that. So let's start that. Okay, guys, here is my little mini Spookopoly board. I do have my chance cards and my community shelf cards on here. Please ignore the fact that this is covered in dog hair because my dog sits back here with me. I have not found a piece to move around the board yet. Okay, I have a little pair of angel wings here that we're going to use. Okay, here we have this. Now we are going to roll 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're burning the witches, even if you aren't one. So this is going to be a witchy read, and I already have the book right here that I plan to read for my witchy read book. Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This has been on my want to read list for so long. The second book is already out. I did try to get a hold of the Fairy Loot version of the second book. I was not quick enough.
So maybe I can find it later on at a reasonable price, but I'm excited. I am very excited. I actually planned a lot of my community shelf prompts around trying to get this book. So very, very much looking forward to this.
All right, guys, it is Thursday night, so that means my vlog needs to go up tomorrow. Basically, to check in with you guys and to finish out this vlog, I'm coming in here to tell you that my final book of the month is going to be The Fractured Dark by Megan E. O'Keefe. I love this book. I love this series. The Blighted Stars has been my favorite book of the year so far. I'm about 60% of the way through The Fractured Dark, so I can tell you I'm loving it, and it will likely be a 5-star. I don't know if I love it as much as the first book, but that could be a little bit of middle book syndrome going on, not really sure. And I'm also sorry that I only have one clip of me cooking for you guys, and it was my lazy day video, my lazy day cooking video. So I'm very excited with the fact that I got my 8 books in for the readathon, and I have enjoyed this experience in tackling my self-pub fantasy, even though we are ending the month at a 3-star average. So the Blood of the Spear, I think I'm going to set it to the side for November. I'm actually going to tackle what's left on my list probably in November, because October we have the Spookopoly, and I am in the mood for some mystery thrillers, for some witchy books, for some horror, and so fantasy is just not doing it for me right now. And I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys have seen my spooky season TBR, as I am going to try and pull from that list for my upcoming month. I did, however, purchase Dead Silence. This is one I've been wanting to read for a long time. It's a sci-fi horror. It's supposed to be delivered tomorrow. And then I also purchased the sequel to Spellbreaker, which is Spellmaker by Charlie Holmberg. So this is going to be added to that list. And House of Roots and Ruin has come in. So I will be adding this to the list as well for my Spookopoly TBR. I'm very excited. I also got Son of Blood and Ruin from my Fairy Loot, and oh my gosh, guys, this book is completely stunning. Now, I won't be having a book haul this month because I actually haven't been purchasing books. You guys know I'm trying to get a lot of books off of my floor, off of my TBR, so I'm really not purchasing anything right now other than the 3 that you see here, and then the 2 that I purchased, Shattered Spirits and Beelzebub's Bargain by Tessa. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce her last name. But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for the upcoming readathon because I am a spooky girl. I am fall vibes. I'm all about horror, gothic, all of that stuff. And spooky season makes me so happy. I'm also very excited that when I rolled my first roll, I rolled for Her Majesty's Royal Coven. So excited to get into that series. And like I said, I'm just in the mood for some witchy vibes. I have quite a few others that could be added to this list, and you never know. You have to go with the roll. So we shall see how all of that goes, but I'm pumped for October, and I'm really glad that I hit my 8 books for September, even though it didn't quite go as planned. The 2 buddy reads, I totally failed. I could have called that because I'm not good at buddy reading. I want to participate in buddy reads, and I do have a buddy read for October, which will be October 3rd. The Hurricane Wars releases, and I will be reading that regardless of Spookopoly. So I do have that as a buddy read with my friends Izzy and Donna, so I'm very excited about that. Just so pumped. And I think Tessa might even join us on the readathon if she can get the book in time. So yeah, I'm very excited today just because of what is coming and the fact that I got my 8 books submitted. So this will be the end of this vlog, and if you guys would like, you can subscribe, like this video, comment, help me out with the reaching more people. But I have all of my links in a Linktree link down below if you'd like to connect with me in any other way. And I will see you guys in my next vlog, which will be Spookopoly. Bye.